So last week I made a little video about how maybe, allegedly, supposedly, my license are suspended, but I'm still driving, you know, a little jokey joke. We're just fucking around. Well, 4 days later, I'm driving to my show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I get pulled over about an hour outside of there in a city called Muldrow, a real shithole podunk town. And I don't give a damn if you're from there. In fact, hell, comment your address. I'll drive to you. I'll punch you in the fucking titty. Because that ain't no coincidence, you know, like he asked for my license. I'm like, yeah, all right. He ain't gone 10 seconds. He ain't gone 10 seconds. He comes back, he's like, man, these ain't no good. I'm like, did you run those or did you run my Facebook? Because I was just kidding. And he's like, you got to get out of the car. I was like, well, I'm not getting out of the car. He's like, why? I said, because I know we ain't about to thumb wrestle, brother. So he gets me out of the truck. And he's like, now we got to tow this. Is there anything in here I need to know about? And I was like, yeah, I got a Colt King Cobra under the driver's seat, and I got a P365 under the dash. He checks those out. Everything's fine. He's like, now, before I get to the other side, is there anything else I need to know about? And I was like, yeah, there's a little bit of weed in there, too. And he's like, well, how much is a little? And I was like, that really just depends on where you're at in your heart. So I had an ounce on me, you know, and that was just a little bit too much for him. He found my pipe. He's like, oh, we got a pipe. I'm like, it's not a fucking crack pipe. Okay, calm down, dude. So at this point, I've lost all hope. You know, I'm like, I guess I'm just going to go to jail. And I'm going to be in there till Monday because it was Sunday, you know. I was like, I won't be able to see a judge until then. He's like, no, we got a 24-hour court system. If you can pay these tickets, you can leave immediately. I said, shit, let's go right now, daddy. So I text my buddy Jesse. He's in Tulsa. I'm like, dude, can you head this way? Come pick me up from jail. Like, I can get myself out, but I'm going to need help getting my truck back. And he was like, you're the only person I know who can get a DUI at 9:30 in the morning. I'm like, it's not a fucking DUI. So the guy's driving me to jail. He's like, I've never seen anybody in a hurry to go to jail. I was like, well, it's because I'm going to get out. And I've got a comedy show to make tonight. And he was like, oh, whose comedy show? I said, take a guess. Which was the dumbest thing to ever say because I could have gave him 1,000 guesses. He's never going to say me. He was like, Kevin Hart? I was like, no. He was like, Dave Chappelle? I said, stop guessing, okay? It's just me. And he was like, nah. So we get to jail. He uncuffs me. He's like, hey, go clear everything up with the lady at the desk up there, pay your fines, and you're free to go. I said, hell yeah. I go up there, and this lady's like, it's going to be $2,000. I said, $2,000? Are you fucking with me? Like, this place is a shithole. I could buy a house here for $2,000. I said, where's this money going? Like, I know it's not going to the roads, because I get scoliosis every time I drive through Oklahoma. But I wanted to get out so I could make my show that night, so I was like, here. I give her my card. She's like, you don't have cash? I'm like, yeah, I'm just toting 2 G's on me always, Donna. And she's like, well, just so you know, it's going to be an extra $3 for swiping the card. I was like, whoa! I started putting the cuffs back on myself. I was like, damn, why didn't you say so? I'll just do the fucking time, I guess. Like, will you shut the hell up and just swipe the card, please? It's $2,000. You think I'm worried about the last 3? So I pay the shit, I get out, and the cop's like, here's your pocket knife back, here's your license back, and I was like, well, do I get the weed back too? And he was like, well, I hope your jokes on stage are a little funnier than this. And I was like, that's not a joke. Like, I would like to sell some of this shit to get some money back. But believe it or not, it took longer to get my truck back than it took me to get out of jail. So we pull up at this place. It's a shithole. There's a little bitty gate locking the place. I just step over. I go and knock on the door. Nobody answers. So I call the guy. I was like, hey, man, I'm here to pick up my truck. You picked it up about an hour ago. He's like, I ain't there. I was like, I know. I just knocked on the door. Nobody answered. He's like, how'd you knock on the door? There's a gate there. I was like, it's 2 foot tall and I'm not in a wheelchair. I just stepped over it. He's like, there's a gate for a reason. Get back on the other side of it. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I was like, where you been, bro? I done been to jail and back. Why are you talking to me like you've been to jail? I just want my shit back. He said, well, I just want you to know it's going to be an extra $60 for today because there's a gate fee. We're closed. I said, $60 for what? He hangs up on me. He pulls up. He gets out all mad. He's pointing at this gate. He's like, this is where the gate fee comes in. I said, brother, that gate ain't worth $60. Well, he only opens up half of it. He drives on in. I said, is it just $30 today? Since you just opened half, I'm paying for the whole thing. Can we open the other side, please? He's like, you ain't gonna keep being a smart ass to me. Well, don't underestimate me, you know. We get inside. He's still being a dick. He's like, look, you can't drive this off the lot. I said, I know, that's why I brought him. He's like, he can't be from here. I said, he's not. He's from Houston. He's like, well, I'm just saying, you can't drive it off the lot. I said, I know. That's why I brought him, and he's not from here. Can we please move on? I said, do you not want my money? Well, he's like, I'm just saying, all these cameras are connected straight to the police department, so they're watching you. And Jesse was like, brother, your power's not even connected out here. Are you going to run our credit card with a one of those things? He's like, we don't take credit cards. I was like, exactly. So we pay with cash. I get my truck back. Jesse drives me off the lot. We make the show, and everything's fine. But now I know how Monica Lewinsky feels, because if I would have just kept my mouth shut, I would have been okay. My life would have been fine. And honestly, that's a terrible analogy, because if I would have opened my mouth the way she did, I probably would have got out of the whole thing.